Hey there, 40K fans. Rob here, and Walt and Josh here to deliver you some awesome meta news, tactics, just updates on the 40K universe in general. The first news we have is about our channel, actually. First off, we moved to a new studio. You'll be seeing the new studio in Bat Reports soon. On top of that, we will be switching over to a bi-weekly battle report segment. So you'll be getting a battle report from us every 2 weeks. And then in the alternating weeks, you will be getting this talk, Rapid Fire, where we talk about the things I mentioned earlier. So, and with that, we will just kind of launch into what we are doing next, which is the meta shift. Josh, you want to lead us off into some chit-chat about that?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about Tau for a second. They are looking strong. Everyone's everyone's got a little bit of kosher salt there with the railgun and the storm surge. I think it'll even out. They don't have a psychic phase, a lot of other shenanigans. I think it'll be fine. Everyone's going to cry a little bit, but we'll all be okay inside. But the big thing is crisis suits, I think, are going to come back from the leaks we're seeing, and that is exciting. So I'm going to start be playing them on the channel, so I'm excited for crisis suits to be back. So I think that's really all we know, because, sorry, keep interrupting you, Rob, but...
No, you're fine. And no, I think that's, it's the normal crying you see every time a new Codex drops. And, like, they do all the... It's literally just a trailer. It's a movie trailer of the best leaks, and then they're just like, whoa, ignored invuln saves, the world explodes, and then there's like, oh.
Yeah, there is a little bit of merit to also think, and some of those have been completely legitimate and kind of taken over the meta, and I don't know what we're going to see with Tau. It's definitely going to depend on how points go and if they really play out.
It's going to be the hard thing with the meta, because normally, like, one Codex comes out, and then it's like 2 or 3 months of, like, them just ruling because of power creep. And now we've had 3 codexes coming out in 1 month, and who knows what that's going to do to shake up the meta. Like, I'll like Stodes, the elite of the elite, pretty much. They did lose their 3-up invuln, but I mean, going forward, they got the points reduction. I'm interested to see what happens with all their Forge World units going into it. They did lose some of their punch, it feels like, but their weapons got upgraded a lot. Some of their stratagems, all the katas, I'm probably mispronouncing that horribly. We'll probably have a little segment where Ian, the channel's custody player, like, really goes in depth about what he thinks of it.
How do they play in with the Forge World stuff? Because I feel like that's going to be a big part of it, right?
Yeah, because before, with all with the Alaris Terminators, I believe, and all their other the Dreadnoughts and stuff like that.
The Telemon, the dudes who are like the little flyers. There's a lot of stuff that's Forge World there. The troop choice, the sanguinary, whatever they are called. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sagittarum?
Sagittarum.
Yeah.
Sagittarius. It's way off.
Yes, they are all the Sagittarius side. That's the water horse. That's not a thing. Maybe it is. Either way.
Yeah, and then we also have.
They're also very strong right now. I haven't played against them yet. I think I have a game in the next week or 2 against them. So I'll find out personally, and I will maybe do a roasting segment on that.
Yeah, and haven't heard, honestly, the other Codex, of course, is Genestealer Cult, which I've heard some fun stories about. Like, my buddy of mine he's kind of focusing on this idea of, like, just lobbing Genestealers at people and using them to almost create a control of the board, in that you can't advance your troops forward because you're too busy fighting Genestealers, while they then take over all the objectives, and this is very much so an objective-based game. So it could be a fun build. He's also not really on board with a lot of the vehicles. He feels like they're kind of being pushed away. But Rob, you're saying they're pretty decent, right?
Yeah, they went up a point. A lot of them went up a point in toughness. The Rock Grinders used to hit on 4s in melee with their 6 attacks, and then strength 8, AP minus, ridiculous damage. But now they're weapon skill 3, so that's a huge change. For that's they're really good melee. They can truth like if rolling well, you can with rerolls if they get them, you can chew through like a squad of tactical marines or Primaris marines. That's good.
Yeah,
Like that's your transport. Like not your main melee fighter. The fact that it can do that, that's a bonus.
yeah. I think the biggest question is are Marines going to be the standard in which you measure killing with now? Because I almost don't feel like they're the type of army that you actually fight anymore. You're going to be fighting, and this is going to be a different talk for a different day once we kind of see how things come out. But like you're using the how many Marines can you kill? But if you're not fighting that many Marines, it doesn't matter.
It's a really good point.
Yeah, so Marines are probably one of the most prevalent armies that you still see at tournaments.
Yeah, but like, I don't know that they are. Like, I think you see them because everybody has one, but I don't think when you start playing, like, say you start winning and you start going up against people higher in the tiers, I think you're going to start seeing more of the better armies, which are not currently Marines. You'll see Grey Knights, which don't really count. You might see like a White Scars army, but you're not really. I don't think you're going to be inundated with. Oh man, I went to this tournament and all I fought were Marines. I think you're going to find a lot of T3 guys that you're fighting, and we'll talk a little bit. I mean, you guys are going to a tournament here this next couple weeks from now, right?
Yeah, in February. Yep.
February 19th at Tables and Towers
in Westminster. Yeah, good. It's one of our local frontline gaming stores. That we enjoy going. It's huge. If you're ever in Maryland and near Westminster, go check that out, please. They're great.
Store.
Anthony's super nice. It's a great store. You'll love it. All the armies on display. I mean, we should probably do a video just the armies on display in there.
I mean, we do have some video in. I know we did a video for our patrons at the store.
Yes, for the Maryland Open. Yep.
Yep.
So we're going on the 19th. Josh, what army are you bringing, man?
Bro. War Boss Josh is bringing the Speed Bob, of course. So I'm super excited to finally field in a tournament setting.
You mean the Army of Renown?
Yep.
Fun.
Boo.
Rob's got some experience with it already.
Yes. Watch our bat reps. You'll see mildly salty me with my admech versus him.
I didn't think it was going to be that strong actually, but it's turned out to be kind of a bully. So it's looking good.
Right, the turn 1 alpha strike for some armies is still strong. So we'll see how that we'll keep you appraised of that and see. We'll tell you how we did. And the thing I'm personally going to dust off my knights, my Imperial Knights, and bring them because I haven't given them a proper chance yet. And since they got their in the data slate, they got that little update with the anything with the Armiger keyword getting the OBSEC, and then all the biggies counting as 5 models. I think they can do a lot, and
I might before or after Tau get dropped. Because that's the big worry, right? Because if it's after Tau, you're gonna have some things that are just gonna drop those knights.
The rule cutoff is the 14th, so I might run. And then a lot of people have secret Tau armies in their basement that are collecting dust.
Let's see what your Valentine's Day gift is. Is it the rules drop or not?
It might be me on the bottom table fighting. I don't know who's terrible right now. It was GSC, so probably won't be any. Yeah, probably it'll be me fighting against some Eldar players. Probably
or Imperial Guard
on the bottom tier. Yeah, it might be me and Imperial Guard players.
Or no. You versus Night Lords. That's what's going to be, because that's definitely the saddest of armies.
Oh no, my Castellan has -4 leadership now. I'm so sad.
Oh no, leadership really matters. Yeah. If I go, I might. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of depends on where the points go. Personally, I would love to play my wolves, but I feel like for wolves to feel like wolves, they just don't. There's nothing really pulling you to not just take Vanguard vets and to take, just all of the good things. I have a list that I would love to play that would be more of like a long-range shooting meets tons of assault intercessors, but it's just not good because of the nature of the creep.
Yeah.
So I might.
Sorry, good.
I might try to play the Grey Knights outside of that. We'll see. They're good, but I my biggest problem with them is I don't want to play them as the meta sense of them either. So I don't know. Here's the problem. I'm a wannabe. I just want to be a filthy casual. Really, is what I think it is. But I keep going to tournaments for some reason.
Well, that's like what we like. One of the goals we have at like going to RTTs or GTs is first off to have a lot of fun and meet some great people and that share a common interest with you. And on top of that, I personally love being the middle lower tier because that's usually where like the funnest things are like.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the and sometimes the lower tables is like the best, and like you meet an opponent, you're like, what's your score, man? Like oh yeah, I've lost terribly. I'm up your table. He's just like, what'd you roll for your charge? Like, I rolled snake eyes. He's like, oh no, you made that charge. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's just like, let's see what happens, bud. And it's just a great sense of camaraderie and fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, my problem is I don't get those when I get on the lower tables. When I get on the lower table, I get to the person I feel bad for beating. Like, that's just... Like, they're just not very good at the game, and, like, I don't want to be mean, but now I have to punch a baby. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And it just always feels a little bad.
Yeah. For anyone planning on going, though, I would say that like, that's the main thing is the reason to go is up to you. Like, we just want to go and have fun and get 3 games in. And that's a great reason to go to an RTT. It's fun, and it's a good time. But if you want to win, you can also do that too.
Yeah, for some people, that's all the Warhammer they get for like a month or two.
Yeah,
like we're extremely lucky that we get we play our bat reps, we get our practice games in, and then we get to go to tournaments and our RGTs and stuff like that. So it's for some people that they're just like, oh, bro, like 3 months I've been waiting for this. Like, yeah, you're just like, all right, man, let's throw it out then, and it's great. Yeah, they're always fun, and you get what you put into it.
Yeah, I just add a last note to that, which is so if you're scared of going because you're scared of getting crushed, there's a lot of fun to be had as well. So and just go with that expectation of having fun.
I think every single time I've gone, I've made tons of new friends always, and I've met so many people either getting into the hobby or like it's their first game in forever they haven't played, or like this is their first tournament ever, and it's so much fun to get them to, like, in case you don't know, I'm a very animated personality and I love this hobby, and getting people into it is like, I feel like a plastic crack dealer, and I apologize to people that I've got into this hobby and they've spent so much money, but I love going to tournaments to meet those people.
And we have one final topic, right, Walt? Which is the...
Yes, we do. So, well, there's actually two... What we want to start talking about kind of what happens in the Warhammer community site. We want to be part of this kind of the conversation that always gets thrown around. So we wanted to start talking about a little bit of 2 things that I noticed. And those are going to be... the first one I want to talk about is the Vigilus Alone Frontierist Terrain. Right?
The name.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Battlezone Frontierist Terrain is what it's called, or something like that. But it's a fun little piece from, like, you get, like, it looks like maybe 4 pieces, 4 or 5 maybe. I don't know if I love it, though. I'm sorry to be Debbie Downer here, but there's some issues with this terrain that kind of exist within the rule set. In that, these seem to be... I would not recommend this to a player who is just looking for some basic beginner terrain to get a game going, because none of it is really the right height with the exception of the radio towers, and those towers are pretty small in a footprint, so you really won't be able to hide a 5-man unit behind them. So, like, both of them aren't large enough to really hide behind, so, and those are the tall things, and then the things that are wide aren't tall enough to get the obscuring keyword. So I really feel like you're going to be, like, if you're looking for a piece of terrain to kind of be able to play the game and have fun, I don't think this is it. That being said, I think you're going to find people who, there's some fun parts to this, and I think you're going to find people in, like, the Necromunda terrain makers of the world out there who are going to turn these pieces into integrated works of art with other terrain that's already out there that I'm sure this stuff integrates with.
I feel like it's definitely not a standalone, like, terrain.
Yeah,
like
and that's kind of
the Mechanicus one is like that. That's kind of like you could
honestly.
do like
and a lot of this stuff has kind of already kind of been done. Like, is it just me, or when you look at that, like that flat, the flat bunkery piece, it kind of looks like what people do when they take those light outlets, like the light switch boxes that you can take and make terrain out of, that you get from the hardware store. It kind of looks like that with some extra stuff on it. Like, it's not really giving me vibes of anything that's really that amazing, and it's sitting at what looks like just a little bit above Space Marine height.
Yeah.
So, like, the thing is, anything taller than a Space Marine will be able to have, because of the way trigonometry works, you know, it's going to be able to see over that piece of terrain and shoot you. Or a flying thing, like, I don't know, Dark Eldar boats, they're going to be able to shoot right over it. And you're just going to be like, oh, well, that was fun. I'm really glad I got this terrain that really doesn't have... that doesn't work really well with the rule set. And I think terrain's always a balance, but this terrain to me does not hit that mark.
It doesn't really match any of their others. Because I was looking at it, and I'm like, what could I incorporate this to GW, like the other stuff they have? And I'm like, it doesn't really fit. Like my Sector Imperialis terrain doesn't really super fit that.
This 100% fits the Moonbase Cassius terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in fact, one of the pieces, one of those boxes that they have, like not the one that looks like a bunker, but the one that's just like a square, that is a Moonbase Cassius piece. But the biggest issue I have with that is kind of there are better ways to get better Moonbase Cassius terrain. If you're a 3D printer, you know what I'm talking about. Go check out on Thingiverse or any of those sites. There's some amazing stuff that works really well in that kind of thing. So they're not adding really anything interesting to it. That's kind of my beef about it is, from GW, I expect something that's going to be innovative and fun, and for me to go, wow, I can't get that anywhere else. I really want it from GW, and I just don't feel like this does that.
Yeah, it really feels like a piece it'll fit well, like maybe for people like us that have like a lot of terrain, so we can stack storage containers on it. It looks like you can put the piping in the corner and really do a little thing with it. But if you don't have all that, then it's kind of what you said. It's not
we get it on the channel. We'll be able to do something with it. Maybe make a narrative game out of it, and you'll be like, wow, that looks great and has a lot of variety. But what this doesn't do is this doesn't help you get like a big line of sight blocker. This doesn't help you get anything that's actually going to let you play a fun, fair, balanced game.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not a good starter piece, basically.
Yeah. No, definitely not. I'm interested to see what the pricing of it is. I'm guessing it's probably going to be between like $40 and $90.
Oh, I think it's going to be above 100. I think getting it is going to be right around 100.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to do what they do with a lot of that stuff, where they give you like the chipboard, like playmat.
Oh, the cardboard,
like something like Moonbase Cassius, and it's going to go and that's going to be a $90 price tag. I guarantee it. And it's just not worth $90. You tell me this is $50-$40? Yeah, I'm down. I'll buy it. But it's not going to be that. It's going to be $90. I'm going to call it right now.
Well, let's see how the pricing turns out then.
I'm happy to be wrong. So let's see if that happens.
It looks like they have some. It has like some crusade points attached, or crusade rules attached to it. So that might be like they're trying to get. I'm reading it now.
Yeah.
It's the transmit signal thing. It's an action.
It's stuff that you can do for part of because
they give you experience points if you do the action near it. So like,
there's ways to get like extra thing which will work in Crusade, but again, this is not gonna. It's great as an additive, and some of these things are going to be great additions, right? Like again, if this is a cheaper terrain piece and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg, I'd say get it, because $50 to upgrade and make things more immersive is great. But
$50-$60, perfect.
$90 to not even have a good playing table doesn't really work for me. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Like, I would want one more good piece of terrain, like one more piece of really atmospheric terrain if it was just going to be all atmosphere and no real play. So that way you could then mix this with stuff. And I know that looking at the height of it, it's going to match the same heights as the Sector Imperialis. It's going to do a lot of the matchups that are fun, but I don't know if it's going to get that final place that you want to go to. Now, I have one other place that I want to complain about today, which I really hope that moving forward it doesn't be this segment isn't Walt complains about models, but I'm gonna. And that last model that I really got to talk about is the Dark Reapers. So the Dark Reapers just got available. a plastic set of Dark Reapers, which is amazing. We've been waiting for this for a while. Like, it looks like a lot of our Eldar army is going to finally move away from Finecast, which is great, and into a plastic model range. However, I gotta say, some of the model range, like, I looked at this and I went, okay, cool. It just feels like I got a plastic version of the Finecast model. And it's I know that that's kind of the direction, but some parts need it to change. Mostly that really weird skull face. Like, it looks like a Lego piece.
Yes.
It's like the Lego skull face, and you're like, how is... These are the Eldar, the artisans that can make stuff with Wraithbone and are like supposed to just be better artisans than humanity, and they have this skull that literally is, the nose is a triangle. The eyes are like the way you as a 5-year-old would draw a comic book eye. And then the mouth is like looking like something from like Dia dos Muertos. Like nothing composed to look good.
That style fits my painting perfectly. I'm like, I can handle this. Not scary at all. It just it's the Cletus Marine or Clarence Marine.
Yeah, like they could have, like, I like the shoulder pads that they were going to use. They're kind of bringing in some Amag and Raz things. But I'm a little underwhelmed with the static pose. Like, most of these guys have a very similar pose. It's the turn slightly and have your gun like this. And when you're thinking, hey, these are the next set of Eldar for the next probably 20 years, if we go off the way this stuff works, this doesn't feel like 20 years of a good model. Like, it doesn't really... Because the last time that anything was introduced was, I think, 2006. So the Finecast models, which are way better than the 1990 models. The 1990 models, they're hideous. I have a couple. I'll play them on the channel sometime. But the upgraded version does look better, right? And I was kind of hoping to see maybe the faces get a little bit of an upgrade. Instead, they knew they were ugly, so they put a hood on one of them.
I could legit put a Lego head on these guys, and no one would know the difference.
Yeah. Or they'd just be like, ha, that's funny. Put a Lego head and then just put 2 side pieces on it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the side pieces. I know some people are kind of angry at the fact that these things look goofy. I don't mind that. That's the Eldar, like, that's the lore. I'm just looking at that skull going, who thought that would be a good model to paint? Like, you could put some 3-dimensionality in that face, or don't make it completely blank. I don't know. Give us, like, I'm probably going to take mine. If I ever buy these ones, I'll probably take them green stuff over the whole thing and then just paint my own skull on it because I can make it look scarier than their sculpt.
I honestly, with the fins on the side of their helmets, I feel like it's just like a Marine's going to pick them up and use them like a lawn dart.
Yeah.
That's just.
So, my other issue is that outside of having the weapon and a little bit of, like I said, I do like that, like, shoulder pad. But these aren't that different. It's just, there's not enough difference to make these feel like a model worth buying. Like, if you already own the current Dark Reapers, you won't look at these models and go, hey, I need to buy them. There's nothing good about them. If you don't own any Dark Reapers, you're just going to go, cool, I need Dark Reapers. Now I can buy Dark Reapers.
They still look like they're on 28s, I want to say. They still look like they're on the 25s, whatever the base is. They still look...
Maybe, yeah, it does kind of look like that, looking at them.
It looks like they haven't changed that much.
Well, I mean, Eldar are on 25s, right? Like, that's just what they are.
Yeah.
The idea is that they're smaller spry things, yeah. So, yeah. But I want to, honestly, that's kind of one of these things. I want to hear what people in the comments have to say about this, because I think there's a lot to be said about it. Somebody else might be able to be like, hey, what'd you expect? I know a lot of people are kind of saying, like, wanted a new Eldar plastic models for 20 years, finally got it, and have nothing but complaints. Sure.
Yeah, it's
only that model, though.
I like
where, like, there's, like, show me the difference between the corporate send this picture down, show me the difference between these two pictures. There's no difference. It's the same picture. Yeah,
but, like, the Guardians don't have that. The Guardians, like, you look at the new Guardians, they've got some new faces, some are in a running pose. I think there's going to be a little bit more going on with those.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm like, you could have done better, GW. We expect you to be the best model company because that's what you have been, right? Like,
it looks like they gave them different guns.
Yeah.
They didn't really need to revamp the style, though, because, like, the aesthetic I feel it's just like, I mean, how do you improve upon that? It's so iconic.
For what?
It's
For
really
what, the
just
Guardians? Or...
for Eldar in general, but Guardians too.
Well, yeah, there was a reason why they didn't have new pieces, and that's because the artist whose name eludes me right now did an amazing job with those original sculpts. Like, honestly, the Striking Scorpions are some of my favorite models, period.
Yeah, they're
beautiful.
I have a
They're
model of just a dude who's just sitting here ready to go, and I'm like, I want to field him. If he wasn't not good in the game right now, I would actually...
There's been a bunch of Eldar leaks, and their rules good.
Which means I'll probably start taking them. I got to start figuring that out. There's a couple other things that are going to happen with that. We'll talk more about probably in our next video, because we know the Eldar might have, like, Yanari and Harlequins are going to be showing up in those. So now
and Corsairs.
That's the thing.
Pirates.
That's the thing I really wanted, and that definitely shouldn't have. I don't know, man. I would have taken Exodites over Corsairs any day.
Dino Elves.
Yeah, well, like, Savage Elves is kind of what that's more, But yeah, that's another topic for another day. Don't you think we should ask what people want to hear in the comments?
Yes. If you guys have things you want to hear us talk about, or want to know what our 5 cents are and things, comment below, do all that subscribing stuff, and blast us. Be like, no, you guys are dumb. I don't care. Just leave a comment, and we'll answer it. We're very chatty with the people on in the comment section, and let us know what you think about Rapid Fire, this thing that we're doing. And if you want to get involved or shoot us a message, we have a Discord and everything, so Facebook, and we're very reachable. There's always one of us online. Always.
Special thank you to our patrons who are giving us all of the love to try and help us make better videos. We are really focusing on some editing right now and really trying to improve in our new space. And I think you're going to get really good videos coming up out of the woodwork here soon. So.
Yeah, 100%. Ditto what Walt and Robbie say.
You copycat. That's
There's
good.
not much to add. You guys did good.
You just give us a wog to sign off. We can each.
Wah!
Yes. Got him to do it. That gives me, I literally have heart palpitations now, because I'm just like, oh, last time we did that, I lost real bad. With that, guys, thanks again for everybody. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks again.